Did you know that in Iceland there is a beach that constantly changes shape? On Iceland's southern coast, there is a black sand beach that constantly changes its shape depending on weather conditions and tides. Each year, locals and tourists notice that the beach's outlines shift significantly. New dunes appear in some places, while the sand disappears entirely in others. This phenomenon is caused by strong winds and underwater currents that transport the sand along the coastline. The beach is considered one of Iceland's most mysterious natural sights. Did you know the average person spends 6 months of their life at traffic lights? The average person spends around 6 months of their life waiting for red lights to turn green. This adds up from all the small stops we make at intersections and crosswalks every day. While it may seem like only a few seconds here and there, over a lifetime, it becomes a significant chunk of time. These moments of waiting remind us of the hidden rhythms of everyday life and how much time we spend on seemingly small things. You won't believe this about the Balearic Islands. These stunning islands, located in the Mediterranean Sea, are not just a vacation hotspot. They boast a treasure trove of fascinating history and mouth-watering cuisine. Archaeological sites across the islands date back to prehistoric times, revealing a rich tapestry of human activity and culture. Visitors can explore ancient taliots and burial sites that tell stories of the original inhabitants, the Taliotic people, who left their mark thousands of years ago. On top of their historical significance, the Balearic Islands delight food lovers with their incredible local cuisine. Imagine savoring fresh seafood caught straight from the Mediterranean, paired with delicious local fruits and vegetables. Traditional dishes like sobrasada and ensaimada showcase the island's unique flavors, making every meal a flavorful experience. So, whether you're wandering through ancient ruins or indulging in delectable dishes, the Balearic Islands are sure to captivate your heart and taste buds. Can you believe hermit crabs run housing chains? Hermit crabs don't grow their own shells. They borrow them from dead snails. But as they grow, they need to upgrade. That's when the magic happens. A hermit crab in search of a bigger shell triggers a social chain reaction. Other crabs gather, each waiting for the right size vacancy. When the first crab finds a new shell and moves in, the next smallest one quickly grabs the vacated home, and so on down the line. This synchronized shell swap may involve dozens of participants. It's efficient, peaceful, and incredibly organized. Despite being solitary by nature, hermit crabs exhibit a surprisingly social behavior when it comes to real estate, a lesson in community resource sharing without any fuss. How about this? Every fifth dollar in U.S. taxes goes to defense. This essentially means that the U.S. spends vast sums on developing its military strength and maintaining global influence. One of the most recognizable symbols of American power, the 100 bill, features Benjamin Franklin, who was never a president but played a crucial role in the nation's history. This approach symbolizes not only the influence of individuals, but also the importance of strategic management at all levels, including defense funding. Did you know Yellowstone is the world's first national park? Yellowstone National Park, established in 1872, was the first national park in the world. Located mostly in Wyoming, USA, it is a true natural wonder. The park is famous for its geysers, hot springs, and wildlife, and it sits atop a massive volcanic caldera. This makes it not only a beautiful, but geologically unique place on the planet. Yellowstone is Mother Nature's masterpiece, attracting millions of visitors each year. Can it be true Saudi Arabia imports camels from Australia? Yes, it's no mistake. Camels, once brought to Australia from the Middle East for farming and transportation, are now being exported back to Saudi Arabia. Camels have thrived in Australia's environment, and their population has grown significantly. Now they are exported back to the Middle East, where they are used for similar purposes. Surprisingly, Australia is now a global leader in camel exports. Who would have thought that these desert animals would complete such a unique historical cycle? Turns out mantises are genuine aerial snipers. Camouflaged as twigs or leaves, mantises might appear peaceful, but they are among the deadliest predators of the insect world. Their eyes, made of thousands of visual units, form 3D images with razor-sharp depth perception, letting them track even the smallest movements. When prey is in range, the mantis doesn't pounce blindly. It slows its heartbeat, locks into position, and launches a rapid, calculated strike in just 40 milliseconds. Its spiked forelegs act like spring-loaded traps, capturing prey with over 90% success. Some species even snatch insects out of the air with shocking accuracy. Evolution has equipped mantises with everything a sniper needs: camouflage, stillness, precision vision, and instant reaction time. They are living proof that small size doesn't mean small skill. Did you know the world's most venomous animal can kill in minutes? The most venomous animal in the world is the box jellyfish, found in the tropical waters of Australia, Southeast Asia, and the Pacific Ocean. The tentacles of this jellyfish can reach 3 meters in length and are covered with millions of microscopic stingers that inject a powerful toxin. One sting causes excruciating pain, and its venom can cause cardiac arrest and death within minutes. This oceanic menace is a wonder of nature that you don't want to mess with. Did you know that Dr. Seuss invented the word nerd? The term nerd, used to describe someone passionate about knowledge and science, was first coined by Dr. Seuss in his book If I Ran the Zoo in 1950. This whimsical term quickly gained popularity and became a beloved label for those who are enthusiastic about learning and geek culture. Thanks to Dr. Seuss, nerd has evolved into a term of endearment for those who love to dive deep into the world of science and intellectual pursuits. Is it true that vultures are eco-engineers with acid stomachs? These birds are nature's frontline sanitation workers. Vultures have stomach acid so powerful it can dissolve lethal pathogens like anthrax, cholera, and botulism without harming them. When a carcass starts rotting, vultures arrive to neutralize it, turning disease-ridden flesh into harmless biomass in hours. Their digestive system is so efficient that even their droppings are less toxic than many other scavengers. But there's more. Inside their guts lives a unique community of microbes that assist in breaking down putrid meat. Without vultures, ecosystems would suffer from carcass buildup, leading to bacterial outbreaks and vermin infestations. Conservationists now view vultures as keystone species, crucial to biodiversity and public health. Their decline in some regions has already led to spikes in disease. These misunderstood birds aren't grotesque. They're guardians of balance. Who would have thought the world's smallest fish is less than 1 centimeter long? The world's smallest fish, Podocypris progenetica, found in the waters of Indonesia, measures only 7.9 millimeters in length, less than 1/3 of an inch. Weighing just 4/1000ths of a gram, this transparent fish has no scales or teeth. It lives in peat swamps and feeds on plankton. Despite its tiny size, this fish faces significant threats from habitat loss and pollution, proving that even the smallest creatures play a vital role in the ecosystem. Can you imagine that in Colorado, there's a town where it's illegal to die? In the town of Nederland, Colorado, there's a strange and even absurd law. You can't die in the town. This law stems from a local history involving attempts to preserve a man's body in a frozen state. Now the town has declared itself a territory for immortals, and locals jokingly claim that they're simply not allowed to die. Of course, the law isn't enforceable, but many people visit Nederland to laugh at this odd tradition and learn about the story of the frozen eternal resident. Imagine for a moment that almost every family in the US owns a car, with most families having more than one. This car culture has become an integral part of American life, and almost everyone, from large cities to small rural communities, relies on automobiles. Only a tiny fraction of families are without cars, highlighting how vital vehicles are to Americans. In the US, a car is not just a means of transportation, but also a symbol of freedom, mobility, and independence. Did you know that one of the most recognizable symbols of the United States, the Statue of Liberty, was a gift from France? The statue, installed in 1886, was presented as a token of friendship to strengthen the ties between the two countries. Interestingly, its architect was Gustave Eiffel, who later became famous for constructing the Eiffel Tower in Paris. The statue embodies not only freedom and democracy, but also the American dream, as it marked America's emergence as a global symbol for those seeking a better life. Notably, every anniversary of its installation is celebrated in France. Who would have thought that electricity could be transmitted through the air? Scientists are already developing wireless energy transmission technologies. The basic principle is transmitting power using magnetic fields or lasers. In the future, charging mobile devices or even cars could happen without wires. This will change how we think about electronics and transportation. Tesla dreamed of wireless power back in the early 20th century, and now his ideas are becoming a reality. Did you know that the world's first film was shown in 1894 in New York City? This was made possible by Thomas Edison's invention of the kinetoscope, a device developed to display moving images. The kinetoscope allowed viewers to watch short films individually. A year later, in 1895, the second film in the world was screened, establishing New York as the birthplace of cinematography and quickly making the city a cultural capital for many creative fields. Notably, these early steps in filmmaking anticipated the future of the film industry, marking an important milestone in global culture. How iron buttocks help Samsung test phone durability. Have you ever wondered how smartphone manufacturers test the durability of their devices? Samsung uses a rather unusual method to test their phones. They created a special robot shaped like human buttocks that sits on phones to simulate the pressure people exert when they sit with their phones in their back pockets. The robot even wears jeans to make the test as realistic as possible. This innovative testing helps the company ensure that their devices can withstand everyday challenges and won't break under pressure. Amazingly, Norway has a special underwater restaurant. Norway has opened Europe's first underwater restaurant called Under. It is submerged 5 meters underwater, and through large panoramic windows, diners can observe the underwater world without leaving their table. The restaurant offers not only gourmet cuisine, but also the chance to watch fish and sea creatures swimming just meters away from you. This unique restaurant has become a major attraction for food lovers and nature enthusiasts alike. The United States is undoubtedly a country of immigrants. Each year, over 1 million people arrive, making it one of the most attractive places to live. In the late 19th century, the largest number of immigrants came from Europe, while today 70% of the immigration flow consists of residents from Asia and Latin America. Mexicans make up the majority of this flow, with over 11 million people, followed by Indians, about 2.7 million, and Chinese, nearly 2.3 million. This cultural diversity in the U.S. is certainly one of the reasons for its success, as the country continues to integrate the traditions and talents of various peoples, creating a unique multicultural society. Why do seahorses dance before mating? Seahorses perform entire rituals, dancing with their partners to form a special bond before raising offspring. These dances can last for hours, and during them, pairs swim in sync, change colors, and even hold each other by the tails. It's not just a dance, it's a true expression of affection that helps strengthen the bond between partners. In the underwater world, these dances surprise with their grace and tenderness. Hard to believe, but the electric catfish is an underwater stun gun. Lurking in African rivers, the electric catfish may appear slow and harmless, but it harbors a shocking secret, literally. Species like Malapterurus electricus have evolved an internal electric organ made from modified muscle cells that can release bursts of electricity up to 350 volts. This jolt can instantly paralyze small fish, knock items from human hands, and even stun larger animals like perch or small crocodiles. The shock only lasts a few seconds, but it's enough to leave prey floating helplessly. The catfish then calmly swims up and gulps its immobilized meal. Unlike electric eels that use pulses, this catfish delivers a sustained burst, making it one of the most efficient aquatic predators in murky waters. It's a self-charging battery with fins, a natural marvel that uses bioelectricity for both defense and offense. Wow, in some U.S. states, atheists are not allowed to hold public office. In the U.S., there are 7 states where atheists are legally prohibited from holding public office. This is intriguing, as America is known for its fight for religious freedom. However, in some states, laws still exist that restrict the rights of individuals in public service based on their religious beliefs. This issue remains relevant for many residents seeking legislative changes that would guarantee full religious freedom for all citizens. Believe it or not, dolphins chat in an underwater chat room. Dolphins are far more than playful swimmers. They're acoustic geniuses of the deep. Using a combination of whistles, clicks, chirps, and burst pulses, they communicate complex messages about identity, mood, danger, and coordination. Each dolphin has a signature whistle, like a name, which it repeats to identify itself to others, even years after separation. More impressively, researchers have found syntax-like structures in their vocalizations. The order and length of sounds seem to follow consistent patterns, suggesting a form of grammar. Dolphins also use echolocation, emitting sound waves that bounce off objects, to see in murky waters and even assess internal states like pregnancy and others. In group hunts, dolphins synchronize clicks to corral fish or warn each other of threats. Their vocal universe is a true marine language, making the ocean one vast intelligent conversation. Have you heard about Indonesia's volcanoes? This stunning archipelago isn't just a tropical paradise. It's also home to the most active volcanoes in the world. With over 130 active volcanoes and more than 70 with historic eruptions, Indonesia is a hotbed for geological activity. Among these giants, Mount Merapi on Java stands out as one of the world's most active volcanoes, continuously shaping the landscape and impacting the lives of those nearby. Then there's Mount Krakatoa, infamous for its monumental eruption in 1883, which was a cataclysmic event that created massive tsunamis and changed weather patterns worldwide. These powerful natural features not only create breathtaking scenery, but also remind us of Earth's dynamic nature. The people in volcanic regions have learned to coexist with these natural wonders, developing a deep respect for their power. They often celebrate the rich soils that the volcanic ash provides, which helps support vibrant agriculture. So the next time you think of Indonesia, remember that beneath its beauty lies a world of volcanic energy. Did you know that animals can be allergic to humans? Believe it or not, allergies aren't just a human problem. Animals can suffer from them too. Some pets can develop allergies to human dander, just like we can be allergic to animal fur. This can cause symptoms such as breathing difficulties and skin irritation, much like the allergic reactions we experience. It's a surprising reminder that allergies don't discriminate between species, and even our beloved furry friends can be sensitive to us. Why do giraffes have coat patterns as unique as snowflakes? Each giraffe's coat is as distinctive as a fingerprint. No two individuals share the same pattern of spots. These spots vary in size, shape, and distribution, and are so specific that scientists use pattern recognition software to track individuals in the wild. But beyond identification, giraffe spots serve vital biological functions. Under each patch lies a dense web of blood vessels that act like thermal windows, helping the animal release heat in the intense African sun and retain it during cool nights. The patterns also provide camouflage among sun-dappled savanna foliage, breaking up their silhouette from the view of predators like lions. Genetic studies reveal that these coat patterns aren't random. They're inherited, with each population adapting spot formations based on climate and habitat. Giraffes literally wear their evolution on their sleeves, or rather across every inch of their tall, spotted bodies. Can you believe that a tick can dine for up to 10 days? Ticks are true masters of long feasts. These tiny parasites can stay latched onto their host for up to 10 days, feeding without interruption. Imagine a dinner that lasts not just a few hours, but almost an entire week. The tick literally buries itself into the feast, slowly but surely enjoying its meal. While the host may not even realize that someone is indulging in their blood, the tick is having the time of its life. These little gourmets are so adapted to slow eating that they can store nutrients and feed on them for a long time. Though it sounds unpleasant to us, for ticks, it's a gourmet experience. If there were a competition for slow eating, ticks would surely be the champions. Did you know that American strength lies not only in its economy, but also in its geography? Imagine the United States as a country whose geography is perfectly suited for global dominance. Unlike many nations that must fight for every square inch of land, Americans can control two oceans due to their unique position. This makes the U.S. invulnerable to invasions and allows dominance in global trade. How have they leveraged this advantage? The U.S. has used its geography to establish strategically important maritime routes and exploit them to its benefit. For instance, by utilizing the seaway across two oceans, they control a significant portion of world trade. Clouds are heavier than you think. Ever wonder how much clouds weigh, even though they float so gracefully across the sky? Well, a typical cumulus cloud weighs about 500,000 kilograms. That's as much as 100 elephants. They might look light and fluffy, but they're carrying a huge amount of water. The next time you see clouds overhead, just remember the massive weight floating above you. Why do fenic foxes have such enormous ears? The fenic fox, Vulpes zerta, smallest of all canids, roams the scorching Sahara with its oversized radar-like ears, sometimes half the length of its body. These iconic ears aren't just for show. Packed with blood vessels, they radiate heat away from the body, functioning as natural air conditioners in temperatures exceeding 50 degrees. But they also serve as hypersensitive detectors. Fenics can hear insects crawling beneath the sand and pinpoint prey like rodents or beetles from meters away. Nocturnal by nature, they rely on their exceptional hearing and padded feet to silently stalk through dunes. Their large ears are a dual-purpose miracle. Audio surveillance devices by night and cooling panels by day evolved to perfection for desert survival. In a landscape of extremes, the fenic's ears are both its shield and its sword. Believe it or not, the water bear can survive in outer space. Tardigrades, also known as water bears, are among the most indestructible organisms ever discovered. Measuring just 0.5 millimeters long, they can survive extremes that would obliterate most life. Complete dehydration, freezing near absolute zero, boiling heat, radiation, and even the vacuum of space. When conditions get harsh, tardigrades enter a ton state, curling into a cryptobiotic ball, halting all metabolic activity and losing almost all body water. In this state, they can endure for decades and reanimate upon rehydration. In 2007, they became the first animals to survive direct exposure to space. Scientists study them for clues on long-term space travel, cryopreservation, and even cancer resistance. These near-microscopic organisms are redefining the boundaries of life as we know it. Tiny, slow-moving symbols of biological resilience. Isn't it interesting that hedgehogs can swim? These little spiky creatures don't seem built for water, but they are surprisingly good swimmers. Hedgehogs can not only swim, but also hold their breath underwater. They puff up like little rafts and can cross rivers and lakes if necessary. Although they don't often need to, the ability to swim helps them survive in the wild, proving that even the smallest creatures can be great adventurers. What if I told you the bassilis lizard can run on water? The common basilisk, Basiliscus basiliscus, nicknamed the Jesus Christ lizard, defies gravity in short bursts. When startled, it sprints across water surfaces, using its large hind feet with fringe-like scales to slap and push against the surface tension, creating tiny air pockets that support its weight. By moving rapidly up to 20 steps per second, it keeps its body above water for up to 5 meters before sinking and swimming. Young basilisks are the best runners, escaping predators by darting across streams and rivers in a flash. This incredible feat combines speed, physics, and evolution into a natural miracle. Engineers study their foot structure and gait to develop biomimetic robots that move across liquid surfaces. With one of the most jaw-dropping evasive maneuvers in the reptile world, the basilisk proves that running on water isn't just biblical, it's biological. How does a giant rubber duck travel around the world gathering crowds of spectators? A massive inflatable duck, created by Dutch artist Florentine Hofman, has become an international sensation. Standing over 15 meters tall, it has already floated through rivers and lakes in cities like London, Tokyo, and Sydney, sparking joy among children and adults alike. The duck symbolizes childhood and joy, and everywhere it goes, it's greeted like a celebrity. Some fans even follow it around the world just to see it in a new location. Did you know that Great Britain was not always an island? Great Britain is an island nation that comprises 4 countries: England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. However, it wasn't always an island. About 88,000 years ago, before the Ice Age, the land that is now Great Britain was part of the continent. It was only after rising sea levels separated the land that Great Britain became an island. This process was a result of climate change and altered the entire geography of the region. Why is the sky blue? The answer lies in science. Have you ever wondered why the sky appears so bright blue? This phenomenon is explained by the scattering of sunlight in the atmosphere. As sunlight passes through the Earth's atmosphere, it collides with gas molecules and scatters in all directions. Blue light has shorter wavelengths, so it scatters more than other colors. This is what makes the sky appear blue to us. It's one of those natural wonders that surround us every day, but are often taken for granted. Here's what lies behind the phenomenon of British tea. Tea is not just a beverage, it is a whole culture. In the UK, it is an integral part of daily life, playing a significant role in social interactions and traditions. The history of British tea has its roots in colonial times when Britain actively expanded its empire in India. Tea became an important export, and its consumption became a symbol of English hospitality. Interestingly, the British flag consists of 3 elements. The flag of the United Kingdom, known as the Union Jack, is a combination of the flags of Scotland, England, and Ireland. This flag was created in 1801 with the official union of Great Britain and Ireland. Despite political changes and even Ireland's independence in 1922, this flag remains a symbol of the country, reflecting its diverse historical heritage. How many kilometers do you think it is from the UK to France? Only 32 kilometers. That's the distance across the English Channel. This is why it was decided to connect the shores of the 2 countries with a tunnel. The construction of the Channel Tunnel, which links the cities of Calais in France and Dover in the UK, marked an important milestone in history. This tunnel became one of the most significant transportation projects, costing $15 billion in 1994, which is equivalent to $35 billion today. Imagine for a moment that Brits drink 1 billion cups of tea each year. In the UK, tea is not just a beverage, it's a part of the culture. Approximately 1 billion cups of tea are consumed annually here, far exceeding Russia's 204 million. Notably, 98% of tea in the UK is drunk with milk, which is a hallmark of British tradition. The UK ranks among the top 3 countries in tea consumption, and adding sugar to tea is associated with the working class. Less sugar indicates a higher social status. Believe it or not, squirrels remember hundreds of hidden nuts. While it might seem like random digging, squirrels possess astonishing spatial memory that allows them to relocate up to 300 food caches months after burial. They use environmental cues, like the shape of a tree, the pattern of rocks, or the slope of the land, to mentally map where each nut is buried. Their memory is not scent-based, rather it's cognitive and visual. In scientific experiments, squirrels successfully identified their own buried food even when decoys were planted nearby. What's more, they sometimes engage in deceptive caching, pretending to bury nuts while being watched, only to move the real ones later. Indigenous myths in North America often portray squirrels as cunning and resourceful, and now we know that's biologically accurate. This complex behavior not only ensures their winter survival, but also helps forests grow. Forgotten nuts often sprout into new trees, making squirrels accidental reforestation agents. Did you know that a chameleon's tongue is twice as long as its body? Chameleons are master hunters thanks to their unique ability to extend their tongues over incredible distances. Their tongues can be twice as long as their bodies. This allows them to instantly capture prey that is far away from them. The chameleon's tongue works like a powerful mechanism that can shoot out with immense speed and precision. It's amazing that this anatomical feature makes chameleons some of the most efficient hunters in the insect world. So next time you see a chameleon, remember, its tongue is a real weapon. Have you met the world's tattoo king? Lucky Diamond Rich, a vibrant performer from New Zealand, holds the remarkable title of the most tattooed person on Earth. With a passion for body art that's as bold as it is colorful, he has transformed nearly every inch of his body into a living canvas. Imagine this. He has so many tattoos that they accumulate to more than 200% of his skin. How is that even possible, you ask? Well, Lucky has not only covered his entire body with images and designs, but he's also gone back to redesign and add layers to existing tattoos, creating a strikingly intricate tapestry of ink. This dedication to his craft reflects not just a love for art, but also a unique form of self-expression. Lucky's tattoos tell a story, a personal narrative filled with symbols, colors, and meanings that are deeply significant to him. As a performer, he brings this art to life on stage, capturing the imagination of audiences everywhere. He certainly proves that tattoos can go beyond mere decoration. They can be a declaration of identity and creativity. How would you react if you learned that it was Tim Berners-Lee who invented the World Wide Web? What if you found out that Tim Berners-Lee, a British scientist, was the one who created it? This is not just a change in technology, it's a revolution that radically transformed how we communicate and access information. In 1989, while working at CERN, Berners-Lee proposed a hypertext system that would link information through documents. This became the foundation for the World Wide Web, and since then, the internet has evolved, providing access to millions of websites and changing society. In the UK, there are many other scientists, such as Charles Darwin, Stephen Hawking, and Isaac Newton, whose discoveries and research laid the groundwork for modern sciences and technologies. Did you know that toxic water could disrupt our food supply? When water bodies become contaminated, they pose a serious threat to aquatic life. Pollutants, like heavy metals and chemicals, can accumulate in rivers, lakes, and oceans, turning these natural habitats into deadly environments for fish and other creatures. This not only leads to the death of many species, but also affects the entire ecosystem, as animals higher up the food chain struggle to find enough food. Moreover, the contamination of water can seep into agricultural areas, rendering farmland infertile and reducing crop yields. Without access to clean water, farmers face significant challenges in growing the food that feeds families worldwide. This combination of events could lead to severe food shortages, pushing communities to leave their homes in search of safer living conditions. The ripple effects of toxic water can be devastating, affecting not only wildlife, but also human health and livelihoods. How can we address this pressing issue before it escalates further? Why do you think there are ice hotels in the world? In some northern countries, such as Sweden and Canada, hotels are built entirely out of ice. Every year, these buildings are reconstructed as they melt by the end of winter. Ice hotels offer guests the opportunity to sleep on ice beds, in ice rooms, surrounded by ice sculptures. However, warm sleeping bags are provided to ensure a comfortable night's stay. It's a unique way to experience the real winter. Did you know that ancient maps showed sea monsters? During the age of exploration, when sailors had no idea what lay beyond the horizon, maps often depicted enormous sea monsters. The cartographers who created them frequently drew giant squids, whales, and snake-like creatures in the seas and oceans, warning future travelers of what lay ahead. Some monsters on these maps were inspired by real encounters with unknown sea creatures, while others were pure fantasy. For sailors of that time, a map was not just a guide, but a warning about the dangers lurking beyond the known world. In the UK, there is a national sport, golf. Do you know its history? Golf originated in Scotland. The first mention of golf dates back to 1497, when King James II banned it to focus citizens on military training. However, in the following years, golf became an integral part of British culture and gained popularity here. Today, golf remains a popular sport, and Scotland continues to host world championships. Can you imagine the world's longest bridge stretches over 160 kilometers? The Danyang Kunshan Grand Bridge in China holds the title of the world's longest bridge, stretching over 164 kilometers. This engineering marvel is part of the Beijing-Shanghai high-speed railway. Spanning lakes, fields, and valleys, the bridge not only astounds with its length, but also offers travelers breathtaking views as they speed across at up to 300 kilometers per hour. Can you imagine thousands of redheads parading through one city? In Tilburg, Netherlands, something magical happens each year. Over 20,000 natural redheads from more than 80 countries gather for Redhead Days. What began as a photography project grew into a global celebration of genetic rarity, identity, and pride. With parades, group portraits, storytelling, art workshops, and music, it's a sea of copper, auburn, and strawberry blonde, like nowhere else on Earth. Attendees exchange tips on hair care, sun protection, and dealing with stereotypes. But this isn't just about hair, it's about connection. Redheads make up less than 2% of the global population, and here they find community and confidence. The festival proves that diversity deserves more than tolerance. It deserves joyful, unapologetic celebration. What if I told you the Mona Lisa was hidden in a salt mine? During World War II, as Nazi forces looted Europe's art, Allied experts raced to save priceless works. Among them was the Mona Lisa. In 1945, deep inside the Austrian Alps, the monuments men found her, safe in the Alto Se salt mine, alongside thousands of stolen masterpieces. The salt mine's stable climate preserved the canvas, pigment, and frame better than any museum could. Hidden from bombs, thieves, and time itself, the world's most famous smile survived underground. That daring rescue didn't just save art, it saved cultural identity. The Mona Lisa returned not just as a painting, but as a symbol of resilience, history, and humanity's fight to protect beauty in the face of destruction. Should you really answer that unknown call? In the digital age, your phone is both a lifeline and a landmine. Surveys reveal that over 67% of people ignore calls from unknown numbers, and they're right to be cautious. Modern scammers now use spoofed caller ID to impersonate banks, government agencies, or even family members. These calls often carry social engineering traps, false alarms, emotional manipulation, or too-good-to-be-true offers. Fraudsters use robocalls to probe your habits and harvest data. Experts advise using call-blocking apps, reporting suspicious numbers, and letting unfamiliar calls go to voicemail. Some devices even use AI to screen and transcribe unknown callers in real time. So next time your phone rings from unknown, it might be safer to wait, because the scariest part of a scam is how convincing it sounds. Did you know that the Fifi Islands survived a devastating tsunami, but retained their beauty? Despite the horrific destruction caused by the tsunami in 2004, the Fifi Islands in Thailand have maintained their unique and surreal charm. These islands became world famous after the filming of The Beach starring Leonardo DiCaprio, where the stunning cliffs and tropical beaches attract thousands of tourists each year. Even now, despite all the challenges, Fifi remains a symbol of natural beauty and is an ideal destination for relaxation, diving, and excursions. Why does Italy have a bell tower that sings? In the quiet town of Cefalù, Sicily, stands an unusual bell tower that produces melodic sounds when the wind whistles through it. This effect is created by narrow slits in the tower's structure that transform the airflow into music resembling organ sounds. Locals call it the voice of the tower, believing it preserves the memory of ancient times. Tourists from around the world come to hear this unique melody on cloudy, windy days, filling the streets with a mystical sound. The broken chains at the feet of the Statue of Liberty. At the feet of the Statue of Liberty are broken chains, symbolizing freedom from oppression and injustice. These chains, often hidden from view, send a powerful message: the continuous march towards emancipation and liberty. They serve as a reminder that the struggle for freedom never truly ends, and every step taken is part of the larger journey towards justice. The Statue of Liberty's broken chains represent hope and liberation for all. Is it really true that lakes can be colorful? The Spotted Lake in British Columbia, Canada, is a stunning natural wonder that brings this idea to life. During the summer months, when the heat increases, the lake's saline waters evaporate, leaving behind a dazzling display of vibrant colors. The lake is rich in minerals, including magnesium sulfate, calcium, and sodium, which create colorful pools that resemble painters' palettes scattered across its surface. Each year, visitors gaze in awe at the distinctive shades of blue, green, yellow, and white that emerge, making it a popular spot for photographers and nature lovers alike. Interestingly, the mineral-rich waters also have a story to tell, as they hold cultural significance for the indigenous people of the region who use them for traditional healing practices. While the lake's beauty is captivating, it's essential to appreciate it from a distance, as swimming is not permitted due to the fragile ecosystem. So, next time you think of lakes, remember that not all are just blue or green. Some can truly surprise you with their colorful charm. Elephants can mourn and grieve their lost ones. When a member of their herd dies, elephants display deep empathy and support. The others gather around the body, gently touching it with their trunks, as if saying goodbye. Some even cover the body with branches or leaves and later return to the spot, as if visiting a grave. This behavior shows just how connected elephants are and how deeply they can experience emotions. It's a reminder that understanding loss and respecting the departed is not just a human trait. It turns out that Spain has a ghost city built for thousands of people, but no one lives there. In the Spanish province of Galicia, there is a place called Ciudad de la Cultura, City of Culture, which was built with grand ambitions. It was meant to be a major cultural hub for scholars, artists, and creative individuals. However, the project ran into financial difficulties, and now this city stands mostly abandoned. Its modern buildings, inspired by ancient designs, stand as a colossal monument to unfulfilled dreams. This place attracts both tourists and architecture enthusiasts, even though most of the structures remain closed and unused. Why do owls have asymmetrical ears? Owls are not only known for their sharp eyes, but also for their unique ears, which are placed asymmetrically on their heads. This unusual arrangement allows them to pick up sounds in 3 dimensions, pinpointing the location of prey, even if it's hidden under a layer of snow or leaves. This special auditory adaptation makes owls masters of nighttime hunting, capable of seeing the world through sounds. It explains why they are so successful as nocturnal predators. Imagine for them, every rustle is like a flash of light in the dark,